Is anybody like running on like no sleep at the moment? Oh, you all got some sleep last night? Okay, so you're on no sleep.
Is there anyone here who hasn't slept this entire weekend?
AV staff, Dave.
Show staff, or show staff. I was gonna say con staff almost don't count because we know that you guys put in all the hours anyways. Thank you guys, by the way, the con staff out here.
Yeah.
Our AV crew out here, you guys have been great all weekend. So thank you.
Yeah, that squad of them are like, really professional. Some of the different cons, they're really good. Like it's nice when it's like there's no panic. It's just like, oh, we'll fix this.
Yep.
I like that. Guys, good morning. Welcome. I'm your pastor. Open your Bibles to chapter 2.
Let's see, chapter 2.
Wait, there's chapters in the Bible?
There's books of the Bible.
Yeah, books of the Bible, but like...
It's like, in that, the books are basically chapters. Thank you.
So, is this Pony Church?
Yes, welcome to Pony Church. I would like you to go ahead and stand up.
As we begin our first...
shake the hoof of your fellow members of the church. By the way, I don't say this to the cows way to people who are religious or not.
Is our first hymn going to be This Day Aria? This day was going to be perfect.
I was told that, are there any Catholics in here? Is Catholic Church as boring as they say it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
As a kid...
My stepdad's family was Catholic, so yeah.
I was told, like, I grew up in the Southeast, so I was, like, from the Southern Baptist belt. And they typically kind of keep it a bit more like, you know, and, but my girlfriend, her side of the family is Catholic, kind of, and she's like, Catholic Mass is like the most boring thing ever. Like, it's like hours long, you stand around.
No, it's only an hour.
It's an hour long? Okay.
It's an hour long, but it's the same repetitive pattern every single Mass, with the exception of liturgical events like Easter and Christmas. It's the same repetitive pattern.
What's Lent? By the way, are y'all cool with us talking about this stuff? Just kind of talking about culture and stuff? Okay, what's Lent, exactly?
It's for Mardi Gras.
No.
It's that stuff that gets stuck on your shirt when you don't wash it properly.
Okay, Dad.
That's a period before Easter. You have to quote-unquote get fast. You can't eat meat on Fridays.
Why is it meat though? Like, I know, like...
Well, it used to be that was all the time.
Okay.
Never eat meat on Friday. They changed that.
Alright. See, Southern Baptists are a lot more laid back. Okay, but I like contemporary Christians because they're like, just show up to church, you know, just have a good time. That's it. No judging here. I like that. But okay, let's not hit religion at 10 a.m. in the morning.
We're on a mission from Gad.
Let's talk about ponies.
Oh, yeah. Well, so welcome to the podcast panel, guys. Up here we have kind of a collective of two different podcasts, and essentially what we do is we discuss a lot of stuff in entertainment, media, a whole bunch of stuff. All three of us are on the Semi-Perfect podcast, which is a bi-weekly podcast, and also, Paleo, you guys have the POS podcast.
Yeah, the POS podcast, which is also bi-weekly. Yeah, that one's on my channel, and we stream it on YouTube, and you guys stream the Semi-Perfect podcast on Twitch.
Yes, thanks to my fiancée, Sarah. She's the one who's in charge of all that stuff, so I've tried to run the show, and it usually goes really bad.
Well, you are already juggling around like a bunch of things. And funny thing is, I used to also run the show, but like I'm not the best at keeping track of things. But Sarah's really good. She's a good like secretary.
Yeah, she keeps us in line.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, so what we're gonna do here today is kind of how we handle our podcasts, where we're gonna kind of jump probably into Q&A pretty quick, and what it is it's whatever you guys want to talk about.
Yeah, this is a really interactive panel. We want you guys to be able to chat with us. It's conversation, and
we're here to have fun too. So
ponies, politics? No. Pony politics?
Everyone just leads.
Movies.
The pony
Cartoons.
episodes. Even like weird like what if scenarios. We love those ones.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you all want to just get this going and just have people ask questions, or
we're good.
Yeah.
Anybody have like a good warm-up morning question?
I'm trying to think of one. Oh, go for it.
This question is for Race.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure that word got to you. Have you seen that sweet Zootopia badge that they got on sale in the vendor hall?
He already has it.
I might have two of them actually.
It's the guy who's selling the tarot cards.
He's the one that has like a bunch of Zootopia stuff.
I one badge. It's like he's got like a whole bunch of like pony badges where they're tourists from different cities, and then he's got this really detailed Zootopia badge.
Nice.
He was talking about Charlotte Pony, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've actually done some panels with him. They have a podcast called Zootopia Minute.
It's got a cool concept, though it's based on their
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah. Apparently, they I guess the group that started doing those, they admit people into being able to do them. So you have to say, all right, well, here's the movie we want to do, and they I guess give them the blessing, you're allowed to do it.
Well, it's always probably courteous to ask and see if they're cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a random question. I'm playing with these balloons, and it made me think of the tripod monsters from the War of the Worlds.
Okay.
I don't know why, but maybe there's 3 of them. Okay, let's say aliens invaded Earth today, like the ones from War of the World. What's your contingency plan? What would you do? Would you stay put? Would you leave the city? Would you go to somewhere rural? Would you?
Well, since they're all gonna die in a few weeks, so I'll just hide in the
These are the ones that had cough drops, so they're good.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jack's Blade's contingency plan because that was one of the things he did this month.
yeah. So
His contingency plan for the War of the Worlds ones was like.
There's so many dumb aliens out there, and who's seen Signs? Okay, so there's a couple dumb things with Signs. So for those who don't know, I'm saving you a movie here. The aliens walk around naked, in the cornfield, the typical gray aliens, and they got these little like Spider-Man, but it shoots out odor that's poisonous, I guess. And they walk around naked. But guess what their weakness is? Water. Now you think floating down to a planet that's 70% water and rains quite often, they would have worn, I don't know, a rain jacket or something.
Imagine they go somewhere really humid and they get out and they're like, no! It instantly just deteriorates.
Scouts are for. Did they not send any advanced scouts?
Exactly.
Just,
They land in South America and they just instantly Ole!
And they can't get past the woods.
Yeah, or I could just take a squirt gun. I actually would love it if there were these aliens running from Mel Gibson, and they run into a neighborhood and it's got a bunch of kids crouching behind bushes with super soakers, and they're you ran into the wrong neighborhood.
One thing I love about that movie is how they had that whole complex thing behind swing away,
Yeah.
and he's like, oh my gosh, this is the answer to everything. But it's well, once you figured out that they were in trouble with water in the first place, it was kind of
Also, the bat was pretty effective too. Not only in the weak to water, but also to blunt force trauma.
Well, that was just for a sport at that point.
It's surprise. Apparently they're weak to bullets too, and everything, as a matter of fact, because they're naked. So this is the kind of stuff we're talking about. Just random, stupid, whatever stuff. So again, I don't want to put the pressure on you. If you have questions, though, fire away. But we're going to try to think of some other questions as we go along. Our friend Jack's Blade. Do you know Jack's Blade was having this? All right, he does weightlifting and exercise YouTube channel. And he's currently doing something called the Month of Halloween, where every day he talks about a certain monster or villain and a contingency plan of how to possibly beat it. Sometimes it can be quite simple, like the aliens from Signs, where just splash water, you're done. Versus something like Pennywise from It, where it's well, how do you deal with that?
how do you deal with what was it, your greatest fear?
Yeah.
You have no fear.
Everybody has fear. It's just the ability
No.
to conquer it.
There's a disorder. Some people have a mental block against fear, and they're not afraid of anything, which is really dangerous too. Because
You talking about Gabe?
yeah, Black Griffin. Yeah.
I like how he wasn't afraid of cliffs until he fell off one.
And even then, he still doesn't really heed it.
Well, it was more just it hurts when you break your leg. It's oh, okay, Gabe.
What's the story behind falling off a cliff and not being afraid to fall off?
I can tell you the story he told me. So it was back when he was young. He was living in Alaska with his family, and the dummy decided to walk up a cliff near this coast side. And he got up there, and then he realized he climbed way too high, and then he really couldn't figure out how to get down. And he was starting to freak out because there's something called the bull tide that was coming in, and it's this really vicious ocean current where it comes in through Alaska, and it's not like water on a beach; it's water against rocks. So you're quite literally stuck between a rock and a hard place. And he's like, okay, if I don't hop off now, I'm gonna drown. I'm gonna at least either hit the jagged rocks or just whatever. I'm gonna die. So he held himself I guess, with the cliff for a long time, and then he realized I have to like launch myself off the cliff as hard as I can and try to aim for the mud. And he like gathered his energy like some kind of Dragon Ball Z attack and pushed off the cliff and landed on the mud. And I think he broke some bones.
He broke his leg.
Yeah, he broke his leg. And he was just sitting there in the mud, but he was like, just because he was relieved that he was alive.
He's like, I'm not invincible.
Yeah. Malfunction cyborg technology. Yeah, and then like apparently the paramedics like helicoptered him out of there right before the bull tide arrived. So
Welcome to a half concert, by the way.
Yeah.
This is our Halloween edition podcast.
Ooh, spooky. So who here thinks they're the traveled the farthest distance to get here? Are you all a bunch of locals?
My sweetheart traveled from Rhode Island.
Where did you travel from?
I live out in Menominee Falls, it's about a half an hour away from here.
Okay, so you're winning so far.
I did come from Central Illinois. That's 4 hours.
Okay, all right, we're starting to get farther away.
He's I'm 90 minutes away.
Central Minnesota, 6.5 hours.
6.5 hours.
I think all of us beat them.
What's yours? Oh.
Yeah, all of us beat
Oh,
them.
what's yours?
Arizona.
Okay.
Okay, about where, almost where
I'm
Ray's
farther than
from.
Arizona.
Yeah,
California's
it's
still a
one
part of the
state away.
states for now.
Normally I wouldn't speak twice, but I will speak to my sweetheart with a layover, 12-hour flight from Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Oh, with the layover. For a second, I'm like, I didn't realize Rhode Island was so far away.
Georgia.
Georgia?
Oh, he had to stay in Georgia?
Yeah.
Oh.
From Providence to Georgia to...
Yeah.
Is Chicago and Milwaukee, are they like sister cities or something?
They're literally like an hour apart.
Okay.
Yeah, we drove from there.
Okay.
You can take Amtrak from Chicago to Milwaukee.
Is there any like rivalries between the cities, or is it like, no, we love you guys?
Our city's bigger.
Aside from sports teams,
Okay. You guys had what, 2 or 3 sporting events going on last night?
Yeah. It was still fun interacting with the normals.
Normies, yeah.
At one point we were walking around, what was it, like the convention center? And Taylor
yeah.
just cracked
Yeah.
us, like, there's people watching the sports. And you said something like, look at these weirdos.
Oh, I thought you were talking about when we were walking to Rock Bottom and like these women came up and says, "Is there a convention going on?" And Saber says, "Yeah, John Deere convention."
And they were just like, oh, okay, and kept walking.
We always get that though. Folks are like, "What is this?" And it's like after 7 years. I mean, I'm not saying I don't have tolerance or patience for people who are legitimately curious, but a lot of them do it for like, "Oh, it's so novel."
That's why I always tell them straight up, it's My Little Pony convention. Just like, it is.
I was gonna tell them it was a Donald Trump rally, just to.
Yeah.
Why are they wearing pink?
Really like some.
You have John Deere hats?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't even know who's talking right now.
You got a microphone.
Oh, found you now. I was like,
You have a very loud voice. All right, any questions from the audience?
thank you.
I like your Crusader hat with the do you play Dark Souls? AKA Cuphead? AKA I'm a game journalist? Yeah. Was that the one who like
raise the sun.
raised the sun? Okay. Gotcha. That's pretty cool.
Dave, give us a question. Ask us something. You're
Yes.
holding a microphone, Dave.
Powers in your hand.
Heckle.
You flipped it on
What's
you.
your dream?
What's your dream job?
Dolphin trainer.
You tried that yesterday during Who's Line.
Yeah, I did.
Never been to a zoo with dolphins?
I guess technically Saber was the one trying it, but
Dolphin Hunter.
I want to be a dolphin. So.
It all works.
We guys on the sitcom here. What about you, Dave? What's your dream job?
Dream job for me?
Yeah. Let's just say you won $50 million, okay? Now you can, the world...
$50 million, that's it? No.
My dream job is retiring.
But
It wouldn't be at that point.
How about not job?
Farming's expensive.
$50 million, okay? What would you do with $50 million? What would you want to do with your life?
Probably a lot of my friends that want to achieve their goals, find a way to help them do that.
So my Patreon.
Yeah.
$50 million.
Well, my goal was to have $25 million, so thanks, Dave. Thank you.
So you're saying you can help half your friends then?
Whoa.
$1 each. Now dance for me. I would clap.
If you, like, so I guess like I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but I know like in California and whatnot, if you win the lottery, it has to be public.
I don't like that.
Really?
Yeah, like
I've heard this though. Like the lottery once, like you won it, so then you have to come up here so we can use it for publicity
I think
reasons.
it's a rule like 38 of the 50 states you must come forward
Yeah.
publicly to say you're a lottery winner, and that is one of the worst things that could ever happen to an individual's life, whether or not that state lottery needs.
I'm disappearing. I'm disappearing.
I guess that's one of the things you sign up for, though. I guess knowing in advance. It's because to me, I'm like, if I won the lottery, I wouldn't want to tell anyone.
Yeah.
Partially because I would probably put it all in the bank and let it grow money. No, but it's like one of those things where everybody, like, no matter what you do at that point, which you'd probably be willing to buy dinner anyways. But
What's the one thing, like, what's your splurge item? And I'm gonna ask this to the audience too. I want to see like what I like asking this question because it shows a lot about a person and what they see in life, what they want to do with life, what they want to buy in life. So, Reyes, what would you do? $50 million. What's your splurge item?
so I could buy anything.
I don't mean like 2 boxes of Lego. I mean like give me like a real splurge item. $50 million. Come on. Haley, same question for you. If Reyes is
Would you buy a dolphin?
I couldn't. That's illegal.
would you
Not on the black market. You have a lot of money now.
She's written one.
No, but you know those like really fancy like custom like theaters that are in houses? I would try to build something like that.
You'd build it?
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Or
I was
have somebody build
just gonna say, but this isn't like I guess as much of a splurge item. I was gonna say, well, it'd be great to have a house in general.
Yeah.
A Californian house? Listed everywhere.
Yes, a California house. Yeah. Even with 50 million, I'd be on the edge for a 200 square foot house.
Audience, what about you guys? What would you do? Just start. Yes.
Custom built blacksmith's forge.
That-
Like
ooh.
see 500 years ago. It's always been a dream of mine. I don't know if I have the artistic skill.
Yeah.
I'd give it a shot.
You can hire somebody to do it.
And to train you. That works. Train me. And the change would go to a couple of very special causes, helping out the hospitals that kept me alive. I'm not trying to plug my health, but yeah, I'd help out them because they help me out.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nice. Anybody else? What would you do?
Travel Europe.
Yeah. Why Europe in particular?
I've been there before and I like it.
What parts?
Germany, Austria, Prague specifically. I didn't go anywhere else in the Czech Republic. Switzerland.
Nice. Are they kind to Americans? Or they're like, here they come?
Mostly didn't seem to notice one way or another.
Okay. Because you've been to Germany before. Well,
Yeah.
How do they treat you?
They are either nice or very good at pretending. So no, the thing that got me with Germany, because I went out there for a convention, and I remember I was confused because I knew very little about Germany, and I'm like, why do they? I don't know any German. Like, why do they want me to come out? And
You look great in lederhosen.
thank you. And I found out later that like 98% of Germany speaks English. Oh, this all makes sense now. And except I did find the 2%, and they all work in a place called the American Western Saloon. Not a single person in there spoke English. And I'm like, now wait.
False advertising.
That was an experience. I went there with Giambaro, and yeah, they have some really interesting ideas of what the American Western culture is all about. They were literally like, I walked in and everyone was wearing cowboy hats and square dancing.
Was it like the episode of like SpongeBob? Like, howdy, y'all.
No, it really was. It really was. And the best part was they were like, again, they're like all these Western square dancers, but they were square dancing to like Elvis Presley music. What? And it was so trippy.
I would love to see like a Texan go in there and say like, what is this?
Well, and they had all this stuff that was like movie themed, but like they made no sense. So the thing we had to buy just to see what the heck it was the Brokeback Mountain salad.
Gotta be joking.
And no, I'm not. And it was actually like just a salad, and we're like, oh. I was hoping it would just like have like, I don't know,
What were you
sausage
expecting?
on it or something.
All right, new question. If you had to be reincarnated as an animal, what would it be?
You already
No. You can't be a dolphin though.
Oh,
Wow, that's.
I'd be an African gray parrot then,
Why?
Whoa.
so I could talk.
That's bad for the rest of the world. What about you, Race? Would you really be a rabbit? You'd be like swiped up in a second.
I don't know. There was this baby rabbit that was by my work, and I haven't seen it lately, and I'm starting to get worried.
Probably gone.
It moved.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'd want to be a dog, honestly.
A golden retriever. Up
They
in
just seem so
Massachusetts.
happy, and I'm like, I want to be a happy dog.
Yeah. You ever see those videos of people who like, we cared for this baby bunny, nurtured it back to health, and we're releasing it back into the wild, and they open the cage, and a hog just swooshes down, and immediately grabs it, and it's like, the little girl's like, ah!
And the dad who's filming just starts laughing.
Yeah. Shut up, Charlie, shut up. Yeah. I mean, it's nature, though. It's brutal. That's why, I guess being a dog is pretty smart.
Yeah. Thank you. What about you?
I come back as a cow.
A cow?
Yeah. I'm betting for India, hopefully. Can you imagine the cows in like America have posters of the cows in India and like someday I could be worshipped.
Moving to Fiji.
Move. Oh. What about you guys?
Puma.
Puma? Cat? Why cat? Yeah?
What if you're a cat who's allergic to cats?
Is that possible?
Life would be hard.
Yeah, no kidding. What about you?
I'd also want to be a cat, but mainly for the fact that you can be a complete douche to everyone.
Yeah.
And they'll still love you.
Yeah.
See, that's an interesting concept when you start looking at yourself in a mirror, you know? I want to be something where I could just be a douche to everyone.
So a Hollywood actor. Anybody else? What would you be?
Falcon.
A peregrine falcon or just a falcon? Yeah.
Oh.
That's pretty good.
On the
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog but with wings. I like that. You have any questions? From the audience even? Yes.
What books do you read?
What's a book?
I can't read.
Uh,
No, wait, that's your answer.
I feel bad because like, it's weird because how often do you guys read on your phones? A lot? Like, because there's a question of like, does this generation read or not? And I think we read a lot on our phones, but like how many of y'all read books though? Okay, y'all read books. Okay.
Noticing none of our hands went up here. No, I used to read a lot actually, like when I was 5, and
So before the internet.
no, but I enjoyed it. I think the problem with me is that I associated reading with school. Too much.
Yeah.
It makes it seem like it's work.
Yeah, it feels like you're doing chores.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, I actually did do a lot of reading outside of school in high school.
Why?
Because I was reading about dinosaurs and dolphins.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you were doing.
Were they like big picture books though?
No, like actual books.
Nice. My answer's so generic. I love The Hobbit. Like I can read that book over and over and over. Apparently, I read online that you can actually read The Hobbit quicker than watching the full extent of all 3 movies.
Yes.
Which is, let's be honest, it's probably the better path to
Once
go.
read the entire Hobbit in an afternoon.
Really? Wow, you crushed it,
Movies
dude.
are so inaccurate anyway.
I feel bad because like, you all know the story behind the movies and how it all played out.
Especially with the third movie, they didn't know what they were doing with it. They were way too rushed. They didn't have, like sometimes when they got onto the set to film, they didn't even have the script ready.
Well, it all starts at the beginning though because Del Toro was supposed to be the one to do the
then he
movie,
left.
which sounded awesome, and then it got caught in like I guess production hell, and it stalled, and then Del Toro went I think make Pacific Rim or something, which is pretty cool. Too bad Pacific Rim 2 looks awful in my opinion to Transformers, but then Peter Jackson was caught basically being like, hey Peter, like you're our only hope, and Peter did not plan for this at all. I guess I'm trying in defense of Peter Jackson because he's a great director. Because folks are like, wow, he sold out in The Hobbit. No, he did not. He basically saved The Hobbit. While Lord of the Rings had like years of pre-planning, The Hobbit I think had like 6 months, and that was not enough.
They
Yeah,
had barely any pre-production time at
it was awful. And then they're going to do 2 movies, and then they said, I think there's a lot of corporate meddling from the companies.
Actually, Peter Jackson pushed for it to be 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Screw that guy. Never mind.
What does he know about?
Well, they're going to do
filming these
the
series
Battle of the
anyway?
Five Armies. Like, there's actually live action. Like, they were making a big live action battle for the most part with like background like CGI, but then they realized we don't have enough time, and they canceled the entire unit because you actually see the unit of like dwarven soldiers and orcs and all these different like actually real actors wearing the outfits.
It turned into a CGI grease stain.
Yeah, and it's going to age horribly. This is why Lord of the Rings is so much better. But yeah, and again, in defense of Peter Jackson, he didn't purposely do it to make people like money. He was
Can I interrupt you for a minute?
no. So
Interrupt him for the rest of
What's
the
up?
podcast.
No, it's just something that you do like at every panel we do.
Huh?
Is that you smack the table a lot.
it's nervous habit.
Oh.
It's ADD. I need an outlet to.
He actually just likes playing the
but
bongos.
it's not just you. It's not just you because sometimes when Race talks, he does it too.
It's like when you speak in front of a crowd. It's good to use your hands just because it's a good way to like get energy out or something.
I know, but like I rest my arms on this. And
Paleo's restraining himself up here so he doesn't do it. He's like,
wonder-
yeah, it's not me.
No, it's funny because I used to do the thing like this, and then Donald Trump started doing it. I'm like, darn it, I can't do that anymore. It sucks.
My issue with the Hobbit movies is that I love soundtracks, movie soundtracks, and I really love Lord of the Rings soundtrack. And
Howard Shore, baby.
oh, just the music is beautiful. And I felt like, I don't know, in The Hobbit, I'm like, there were so many moments where I'm like, oh, do a thing, make it good.
A couple of ones like the dun 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 dun.
There's like 3 to maybe 4 good tracks that I really like from The Hobbit,
Yeah.
where like Lord of the Rings had like 18 different melodies that they used throughout the film that I was like, these are all good.
Yeah.
So
I like it when like a movie or a video game takes like a theme early on and they bring it back at the very end.
Oh, yeah.
Like Halo 3 did that and it was really good. Did anybody watch the extended version of There and Back Again, like with the Goblin songs?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they cut out of the original, but it is so like weird because in the books it makes sense because Peter Jackson, I'm sorry, Tolkien had a lot of songs in his books that would last for for multiple pages, but then like the actual Battle of the Five Armies itself was like a paragraph
Well, it's like 2 or 3 pages long.
for the Battle of the Five Armies.
Yeah.
I mean, but like the way they in the movies, it was like insane. Versus Jackson's like, and the elves threw arrows and then Bilbo blocked out. All right, moving on. Because he wanted to make it about Bilbo and not about the big events. But okay, I feel like I'm stuck on the Hobbit. Any questions from the audience? Yes.
Was there a movie that you guys have seen that kind of made you tear up, made you have the feels?
The feels made us have
A few of them.
Which ones?
Something recently that came out last year.
Zootopia?
No.
Norman of the North. The Emoji Movie.
No. It's something called A Monster Calls. And it's based on a book of the same name.
I'm gonna
And
watch that.
It's about this kid dealing with his mother who's like really sick and is like about to die. So, yeah, and he starts imagining this monster that is telling him these like different stories throughout the process of him grieving.
Oh, that's interesting. Isn't it Liam
Yeah.
Neeson is the voice of the monster?
Yeah.
That's cool. Nice. Serious question. Serious answer. Very good. Poop. A Song of the Sea?
Yeah, that was another one for me.
That got me. I was like on an airplane and I started like weeping. And I was like, I like my peanuts, thank you. The flight stewardess coming by.
I thought you said you liked something else.
But I heard
Yeah. I know what I said.
You know.
How about you, Race?
Mm,
Old Yeller.
I've never seen Old Yeller. I can't?
Did you actually cry during Zootopia?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
Okay. You cry easily?
I cry all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just look at myself and I'm like, so myself? No, the convention vlogs always get me all teary. No. I'm still looking for my answer here. It's
the lights.
The lights.
I must look into my soul and really dig deep. There, you know what's funny is I remember it was like my 4th or 5th time seeing it, but there were I think that, like I don't know like emotionally I was like not in like a bad state, just like, I don't know, there was something going on, and I remember, I think I was watching like Titanic or something.
Really?
And I was just like, why, Jack? Why? It's not fair. Yeah.
How about you, audience? Anything that has gotten you?
Your name.
Your name?
Oh yeah.
I know a movie that got me.
But
Up.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't the opening sequence that got me. It's the part where he's looking like he finds the the memory book for the second time, and she has that note at the end. I was just like, I can't. And
Yeah?
like, yeah. What got me was just listening to the music.
yeah,
Like one day I was just sitting around, I'm like,
the music with the little piano is really fantastic.
yeah, the same guy did the music for Zootopia.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. How about you? Anybody else? Any movies that's
Lion.
what's that?
Lion.
Lion. How about you?
Anything with a dog in it.
Dude, I don't know why.
All dogs go to heaven.
That one got me at the very end
What,
because
what about part 2?
no.
Wait, they made a sequel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I went to theater.
No.
Recall. All right.
I don't
And yes.
The Dog's Purpose really got me. I cried like 7 times.
See, that's like too easy. I mean, I'm not none of your answers.
Wait, what was it?
A Dog's Purpose.
Okay, that was that movie that everyone's like, oh my gosh, they made the dog swim.
But apparently, it wasn't as
Yeah.
bad as it say it was.
Well, it was the way that they like cut the film or
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, that poor movie.
I think the reason why like dogs tug at, or cats or animals like tug at our heartstrings is it's so relatable. Like none of us have to deal with like real drama, but like our pets passing away is like I don't know, it's like it's relatable, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a sad question.
They're just so innocent.
Is that something funny? Any questions from the audience? Yes.
With movies that made you cry?
Yes.
Metalocalypse, Doomstar Requiem.
Really?
Toki's audition, like between the music and Squizgar saying I want you in the band after he flubs his audition,
Yeah.
just like, it was so metal, you know? And he had
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, I still need to like finish all
That
of
show's funny.
Metalocalypse.
Any other people?
Get on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the show complete?
No, Brendan Smalls wants to get like either another opera or a few more episodes.
It's complete that it also doesn't want to fun anymore.
Yeah, along with
No.
Adventure Time. It's a weird upload schedule. All right, you in the back. Three of everything?
Oh, Theory of Everything.
Oh, Theory of Everything.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nice.
So, are we going to do another question?
Yeah, let's move on to another question for now. Fire away.
Your favorites, non-horror Halloween.
Favorite-
Non-horror Halloween.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Does comedy horror count?
Sure.
Zombieland? I love Zombieland.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Huh.
No horror. No, Nightmare Before Christmas. You can watch that from like October to December.
Yeah, they were smart when they made that movie. They're like,
Yeah.
we're gonna cover 2 holidays.
Apparently, I'm like a testament to this. People always say, well, Tim Burton's genius for doing that in Coraline when it was, I think Ellis, it was somebody else who like did
Yeah, somebody different directed Nightmare Before Christmas, and then Leica did a Coraline. I forgot who directed it. Though.
the same person did Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
That's all I know, and that's how bad it is. I can't even recall the person's name, but like they did like an insane amount of work on it. And I think they only had 10 animators or something like that. It was ridiculous how long it took to make that movie with all the stop motion.
Danny Elfman, I think, did all the singing for Jack Skellington.
It's funny because my girlfriend told me that they had some auditions and they were going forward with it, and then Danny Elfman's like, nope, they can't do it. I'll do it myself. And he voiced Jack Skellington and did the singing. Any other questions? Yes.
What's your favorite fan fiction?
None. Moving on. I'm joking.
It's I used to read fan fictions. I've never read like really legitimate ones for My Little Pony. That's a longer story. But I used to read, like, get really deep into reading fan fictions for Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Because when I rediscovered that show when I was in the middle of high school, that was kind of like my resurgence back into like cartoons, and which eventually led me here. And it, there were a couple really good ones. There was like the one called Fly to the Light. I was like, yeah, that's great. What was it? Of Mice and Mayhem. That was a graphic like comic
Sounds like
novel. It actually was pretty hardcore. But yeah, so I'd throw those down.
I don't really read fanfics.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
I don't.
Saber writes his own.
Yeah, I write them myself. Other questions? Yes.
Where do you think you'd be if it weren't for this community?
Oh, that's a good question. Where
Probably
would we be?
still in California right now, waking up.
In bed.
Yeah. Sleeping.
Would you just be doing the racing stuff and just continue on with your job and that's it?
Yeah, probably. I'd probably still. I mean, I know I'd still be doing the racing stuff. That's like another big part of what I do is on the weekends we're typically at a racetrack. This weekend, I was actually so happy because they've announced the dates for Ponyville Ciderfest for next year, and I guess it's closer to Halloween again, kind of like how last year was, which I thought was a lot of fun. And I was like, yay, because there's a big event that I was supposed to be covering this weekend, and now I'll be able to do everything again. So yeah, I would have actually been at a racetrack this weekend. But like, I know you probably mean more in the grand scheme. Yeah, like, I don't know, that's always kind of hard to think about. Like, I still enjoy watching the show. So I imagine I'd probably still be watching that. I don't know how many, I don't know. It's interesting.
I wouldn't have my girlfriend, I wouldn't know you guys, I wouldn't have my current career with YouTube. I probably would be doing door-to-door sales in Georgia and be miserable.
Oh my gosh,
really
this just
glad-
got real.
I'm sorry, this
You're right, I didn't even think about all that stuff.
It's been had a pretty big impact on me and opened a lot of doors of possibilities. Don't touch me. We love you. What about you, Paleo?
That's great.
Cool.
Yeah,
Anything for
the
you?
friends would be the biggest loss. That would, man.
That would hurt.
Yeah. I mean, I've met some of my best friends through this fandom, and it's like, oh gosh,
Yeah.
it's like they do like a Christmas episode where they're like, all right, let's find out what happened if the fandom never existed, and it's like, Gabe is like, what would happen to Gabe?
Life.
Gabe would probably still be in the Navy, I'd imagine.
He might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Through the fandom, he was able to pursue his talent with like music and stuff, and voice acting.
Yeah.
So, all right, you know your hand up. What's up?
That's why. Have you guys ever played any like tabletop games like D&D? And if you did, do you have any fond memories of any here recently?
I want to play D&D so badly, and my girlfriend's into it, and she's trying to like set up a campaign. And I'm also like a big fan of Warhammer in the sense of like trying to get into the tabletop stuff, but it's kind of like I played Risk and then here's Warhammer like way over here.
Yeah, I hear Warhammer can get pretty expensive.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
That's why they call it Warhammer 40K, because that's how much cost to get it.
That's funny.
It's crippling expensive.
Yeah, I heard it's like insane. Like the little figurines and painting them and just collecting armies can cost like why have children when you can do Warhammer collections?
I played this one game, and I actually don't recommend it for anybody because it had a real negative impact on my life. It's called Jumanji.
You, Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
Well, in the game. That's gonna be interesting. Is anyone like looking forward to or dreading that movie? Like, does anyone care?
I don't care.
Dreading. At least they didn't, like, to me, I'm like, at least it's like different enough where they're like, oh, it's a video game now. So I'm like,
It's so weird, like, because they take out a console because it's going to be a video game, and the console's like an Atari 2600, but it has like graphics for like a Super Nintendo.
see, this is where you're like, this is so unrealistic.
Yeah.
Not the fact that they get sucked into the game, but the graphics.
Yeah. I think going in this direction though, I think kind of helps stay away from the Robin Williams stuff because like that's kind of
they had
touchy
to, they had
topic
to,
still.
they definitely had to change it up. I just recently watched that movie with Sarah, and I was really impressed that, like, I feel like the graphics still hold up pretty good.
Yeah.
They use a lot of CGI in that movie, but it works.
There's some
So-
movies use CGI still to this, like Jurassic Park. Still looks really great. Starship Troopers has moments where it looks really great, which is impressive because that was so.
Well,
so
they had to use CGI in Jurassic Park because it wasn't safe to have the humans with the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So they CGI'd the humans in.
Yeah, the dinosaurs didn't want to work with the human actors.
There's this marvelous picture on online where it has this because they had an animatronic too, and I guess it was during the scene where like it's like destroying the jeeps and it's raining, and I guess the animatronic skin.
Yeah, like it soaks up with rain, so the T-Rex is just like shaking.
Covered it with towels. And there's a subreddit called like Fake History, and someone's like, the year 20 million, cavemen keep T-Rex warm or something.
You guys
have a black and white photo.
So I love reading up on like movies, like kind of like finding out trivia about them.
Yeah.
And I love how who here knows the movie Jaws?
Yeah.
Yeah. They made this whole animatronic shark, and Spielberg's like, yes, this is gonna be it. And they put it in the water, and it just sank to the bottom of the ocean. I'm like, we need another shark.
And yet that was the key to their success.
It ended up being because they weren't able to use any animatronic shark, so they had to use like other forms of showing that there's a shark there. I guess like the barrels. Like when they shoot the shark with the barrels and all over the place, they're like, we don't need to show a shark.
Yeah, and in the movie they use a lot of like stock footage of like actual great whites.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That movie was the first real blockbuster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that and the Exorcist, which came out before it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then sharks are like killed afterwards. Thanks, Spielberg.
Sharknado.
Are there questions? Yes.
Were you in hardcore fans of anything before you were a fan of Pony?
Warcraft.
Nintendo, which I still am.
NASCAR? Like I said, Chippendale Rescue Rangers was the first like fandom I was ever a part of. I went to a convention for Chippendale Rescue Rangers. There were 6 people there. It was good. It was actually a lot of fun. But yeah, like we called it a convention.
Yeah.
At the time, I'd never been to a convention, so it was just 6 of us that got like we rented out a weekend house, and it was like in Tennessee, I think. So yeah, it was fun.
Halo. It was pretty cool. Heydays. Yeah, Spartans. What are you cosplaying as? Just a Spartan, or what's your theme? Oh, yeah, nice.
Those muffins were awesome, by the way.
Yeah, he ate them.
Thank you.
I ate 2.
Yeah.
Greedy greeds. All right, other questions from the audience? Yeah, what's up?
Favorite cult classic.
Favorite cult classic? Scientology.
Oh man,
It's hard for me to know if they're cult classics.
I'm trying to think because
I say Starship Troopers.
Is Beetlejuice a cult classic? I don't know.
Is what?
there's a big
Beetlejuice?
list of them.
I don't see it's hard. Like I said, I don't.
Yeah, Beetlejuice is kind of a big one.
Wasn't Blade Runner a cult classic?
Yeah,
That's why it's
because-
not doing so at the moment. Is like people just weren't really into it.
Yeah.
It's also
I really like. I do really like The Thing.
the superhero. Right?
I think my favorite cult classic is the Tom and Jerry movie.
Really?
No.
Oh, one Disney movie that doesn't really get mentioned a lot is The Great Mouse Detective.
Would that be considered a cult classic?
Yeah, it
I
made,
love that movie.
It like out of the animated movies that year was like number 8. So.
Oh well, then I'd
Yeah.
say that one. Yeah, no, I love that movie. And Rescuers Down Under. I love
Yeah.
movies with like
Mice on Adventures.
mice and yeah, there were a lot of those. American Tail, Great Mouse
Yeah.
Detective.
Yeah, what's up with that? Why mice?
I wonder if it's just like it's easy for them to like portray like maybe vulnerability with the
Yeah,
smallest
yeah.
but
I think
cutest
you're right, yeah.
thing they can think. They're like, what if we made a beetle? And everyone's like, no, don't want to see it.
Don't you make fun of A Bug's Life?
Bug's Life, yeah, we see how that went. Ants.
I'm Woody Allen.
So answer Bug's Life.
No.
Or the Bee Movie.
They're both kind of like wow. I don't know. Like Bugs Life is a little bit too vanilla for my taste. While Ants is it's different, but it also like is kind of that poo-poo, like we're edgy humor and stuff. I mean, they say, "What are you bitching about?" Like it's like, what the heck? This is a kids movie. Why are you saying that on a kids movie? Because I guess DreamWorks thought like we gotta be a bit more edgy than Disney. We'll say hell in our movies because
And then it's so weird because like I think something that is like a a death sentence to a movie is that when a studio releases 2 movies the same year, that one of them is not going to do as well. And that happened with Inside Out and The Good Dinosaur, because it came out the same year, and it happened with Ants and The Prince of Egypt.
Which is funny because The Prince of Egypt was superior.
Yeah, like
it did okay, but not as well as it could have done.
I will say, a lot of people were worried about that same scenario for Moana last year because Utopia came out earlier. In
yeah,
the
but it was like a bit more like distance between them.
And also, they're very different types of movies.
They are.
I think Moana did pretty good. I believe
it did pretty good.
That's not bad. It's a good movie. It's a beautiful movie.
There's also Minions and Sing.
I have a story for you about the ants of Bug's Life. Do you guys know how, like, y'all know who Katzenberg is? He's the guy who, like, started DreamWorks. And he literally ripped off John Lasseter with Bug's Life. Because, like, Katzenberg used to work with Disney. He helped with the Disney Renaissance. There was some drama where he wanted a promotion after there was a vacancy. Because the guy, Frank Wells, I believe? Yeah, he died in a horrific helicopter accident, and he's like, okay, Eisner, who is in charge of Disney, he's like, it's my spot. And he's like, nope. And guys were like, well, fine, I'll make my own company, make DreamWorks. And he left, and then he's like, okay, what movies do you want to do? Oh, John Lasseter, what are you working on? John, I want to hear about it. And John was like, oh, you're going to love this, Katzenberg. It's called Bug's Life. And he's like, yeah, okay, keep going. And then he made Ants, and John Lasseter called Katzenberg, and apparently there's like this legendary voicemail that John Lasseter just cussed the heck out of Katzenberg, which is funny because John Lasseter seems like a sweet guy who wears Hawaiian t-shirts, and to think of him freaking out on somebody and leaving like this terrible voicemail is kind of funny.
I told you, I forget where I even saw it, but like how Pixar even came to be.
Yeah.
Like I forget what order or
you told me about this.
Yeah.
Can I help you?
Yeah.
So Pixar was owned by George Lucas, Lucasfilm.
Yeah, that's what. Okay, yeah.
And it was something about how, like, because it was early technology, it was, it was really innovative, but it was expensive. And George, though, despite the success of Star Wars,
That's right. This is how I know this.
he built Lucas Ranch, and basically he spent a lot of money, and then his divorce happened, and he lost a lot of money. And he's like, oh, the Pixar's starting to bleed me here, because it was losing money, and it lost money for a long time, even when it was sold off to Steve Jobs. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut in right here. So George Lucas was like, you know what, I need to come up with this movie that's gonna save, that's gonna help me out here financially.
Yeah.
Since I just built the ranch, I gotta get myself back, because he put himself in debt. And so he's like, you know what, I know what movie's gonna do it for me. Howard the Duck. One of the greatest flops. He's like, oh no. So then he's like, I need help. And I guess Steve Jobs was like, here, I'm gonna buy this animation company that you have off of you, and I'll actually like give you way more than it's worth to help you out. And so for anyone that didn't know, you can thank the movie Howard the Duck for Pixar.
Yep, because I don't think it was really going anywhere with George Lucas. And also, like, again, like Steve Jobs bought it, and it still bled him for I think about another 10 years until he made Toy Story, and it was like poof. And it went from like being like a $20 million sink into becoming like a $300 million success. All right, we got about 7 minutes left. Want to just keep going with the Q&A? All right, any other questions from the audience? I see your hand up.
You guys sleep well? Because you weren't at the rave last night.
We were at the rave.
You were?
Yeah.
We're throwing balloons around the back.
We were beating each other up with balloons.
We wanted to make the rounds with the tabletop room, went to the video game room. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. We were also raving with the wannabe Russians that were all over the place. Yeah. And we actually, there was one thing that we did do last night that I think we all regretted.
What?
We tried watching a movie called Cargo, which is a like Cars knockoff. And
Yeah,
we're like,
from the asylum.
We're like, and it has like Ed Asner from Up, who's like voicing in it, and his mouth just.
It's like puppets. It's really weird.
He sings a song, like but it's so weird, and it was bad.
My favorite thing about the movie is there's a police car who would constantly chase after the protagonist, and they just keep reusing the same voice, like pull over. Pull over!
And he's voiced by Phil Lamar.
Yeah, who's a very capable voice actor. So it was bad.
Look at what's coming in here right now.
Good lord!
Oh my god!
It's Smog the Terrible.
It's Pete's dragon.
That's really cool. You think there's actually, it would be great if there's actually like 2 pony cosplayers like underneath that.
Yeah.
Oh, Great Badash was there.
It ate somebody. There's someone's hand trying to get out.
That's great.
That's fantastic.
That's pretty great. Are they playing this off?
No, this is actually.
Oh, you got the pony eyes in the front. That's great.
Oh, nice.
Good craftsmanship. Very
Wow.
cool.
They should have won.
Oh my God, they actually did.
Yeah.
Verity, Rainbow Dash, is there a Twilight under there? Are you kidding me? It's
Nice
awesome.
work.
Well done.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
It's one of the things, like, I guess I almost call it like a guilty pleasure. We're like
awesome. Well done.
going around conventions and everything. I love seeing the work that cosplayers put into their craft.
Which is like really difficult.
Yeah.
Like,
Your girlfriend,
she's been educating me like the how wigs are just not your friends.
Yeah.
We got about 5 minutes left. You've been holding your hand up, and then somebody else in the background. Actually, no, let me get to him first, and I'll get to you. Yes.
What is a piece of media that you personally like but is generally considered bad?
Napoleon Dynamite. I love Napoleon Dynamite. It's my guilty pleasure. Like that's why whenever I do like top 10 videos or whatever, I should start putting this at the beginning of my video more often and saying, hey, listen, if you like But Ugly Martians or whatever, or if you like this show that most people consider bad but you enjoy it, more power to you. That's fine, you know, because I love Napoleon Dynamite. I can watch it a million times over. I know it's not that good, but I love it. And that's just my guilty pleasure. How about you guys? Utopia?
Yeah, it only got a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. Terrible.
I'm trying to think, because like I like the Jurassic Park sequels.
I like the Jurassic Park.
Yeah. It's like I generally don't think people think they're that bad, but I'm trying to think of some other things because I do like the Final Destination films.
Like this is gonna be kind of weird. So I don't know necessarily that a lot of people don't like it, but Rescuers Down Under did so bad in theaters when it came out. So you know it was a sequel to The Rescuers, and I think it just flopped.
Yeah,
and they pulled advertising within a week, I believe, right?
I learned that I guess like part of it was they tried doing some kind of intermission thing with it. Like they had a big short in front of it. They had
the Princess and the Pauper short.
Yeah, and I guess like they had an intermission, and for some reason a lot of people think that might be why it had an issue, because the reason that conversation's
because they had a short in front of it
is because of the intermission. They had a break. Yeah. The reason that I've been hearing about this lately is because Coco is coming out and they have a 30-minute short, Frozen short.
They're doing that because they know Coco is not going to do as well. They're afraid.
Oh, I know why they're doing it.
Frozen. Like, my girlfriend loves Frozen, and she's like, "I will go see the movie just so I can see the Frozen short." I'm like, "That's what they're doing. They want the kids to come in."
So Laura's answer would be Frozen to this question.
Yeah.
Okay.
She wants to see Frozen.
So
I mean, how long is it? A 20-minute short?
Or it's pretty long. Yeah,
it's crazy.
So, but yeah, I was gonna say Rescuers Down Under is like one of my favorite cartoon movies, and it's just funny how it like did so bad in movies. By the way, guys, if you have like a favorite movie and you're like curious, like I wonder how it did with Rotten Tomatoes, don't look it up. I learned the hard way. I'm like, oh man, let's see how this movie did. Oh, maybe I didn't need to know that.
Oh yeah, like one of my favorite animated movies is the Powerpuff Girls movie, and it did terrible with critics.
Yeah.
So
what do critics know? Nothing. Well, at least they got it right with Zootopia.
Our buddy Jim did a review on Starship Troopers, and that's a movie that I think has aged in a way that's benefited it, because I think it was Is it Roger Ebert? That's his name. I always screw. It's Roger Ebert.
Yeah,
Robert Ebert. Okay. He didn't like Starship Troopers, and he's like, "Oh, this is terrible." And I don't think people really understood what they were going for initially. And like Jim said, like it's weird that this movie came out in the '90s, and yet kind of like echoes nowadays with like fascism and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. Other questions? Yes. Oh, go for, yeah, we're gonna do the. I'm sorry. Go for it. I'm not that good at tracking.
If you were given infinite time and materials, what would be your ideal cosplay?
My ideal cosplay? Judy Hopps.
A space marine. Take that, Spark.
A monster truck.
A working like Samus Aran power suit. Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. What about you?
Well, this year I was cosplaying as a Pony fan, so I mean.
Nice. Aren't we all?
All right, you had your hand up.
Do you feel like the Alien series is being the new Tremors? Like just being milked and ran to the ground
Oh.
away from the fan base?
I don't know, like, because I saw Alien Covenant, and I at first I was like, oh, it's all right, and then like the more I thought about it, I was like, I'm not liking this, because like Alien Covenant is more sort of like a sequel to Prometheus than it is like a prequel to the Alien series, and like because people say that like starting with Alien 3, it just started going downhill from there, so. Yeah, the thing is like the movies don't really release as often as like I guess because I have only seen like Tremors 1 and 2. I don't really remember them that well.
There's that guy with like the gun arsenal who's the best character in the movie.
Yeah.
Doesn't he show up in like every movie?
Yes.
What's his name?
Burt Gummer.
He's great. I love that guy.
I actually just remembered a much better answer for the movie that everyone thinks is bad and might be right. I had so much fun watching Cars 2 in theaters.
Yeah.
No joke. I saw it with a bunch of like racing friends, and we were just cracking up at everything.
Yeah, because you're.
And then I got out of the theater, and everyone was like throwing like flaming arches at it and stuff. So, dang.
We got we're actually out of time, I think.
Out of time.
Yeah. Guys, thank you for joining us for our podcast panel.
Yeah,
Really
thank you so
enjoyed
much.
it.
And thank you guys for coming out to Ponyville Ciderfest 2017. Are we going to see you guys next year?
Awesome.
Excellent. Well, thanks for having us, guys. We had so much fun this year. I know
great year.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. The cheese curds were just as good as always. So thank you.
All right, guys, you all have a great day. Get you around.